The sexiest, most grip-grabbing movie that came out. Grip-grabbing. Don't know where that came from. Tashi talks tennis. Her first love is tennis. Everything is about tennis. The I told you shirt throughout the movie was spot on perfect. And I want to say in general, bro code. Bros before hoes. We were friends before she even came here. But here we are. Let's give her a good fucking game. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. I am Shaunda. I'm gonna hop right into this. As you can see from my title, this will be a spoiler. So if you did not see the movie, I would recommend, I highly recommend that you go to the movies to go see Challengers and then come back and listen to me. And I feel that we're gonna be the same mind. We're gonna be in sync. You're gonna think what I think when this movie comes out. Cause like my thoughts on this while this movie came out was just mind-blowingly great. The movie was excellente, okay? Emphasis on the te. I'm still working on my jokes, but I'll move along. I got the privilege to take myself out on a solo date. I actually went to the movies twice, crazy, but really fun. I'm really happy that I got a chance to do that. So the premiere, when it came out on Friday, I went to go see the movie in Dolby. Loved the detail, loved the storyline of the movie. It was really great. The cinematography was awesome. Then the second time I went to see it, it was on a Sunday. Saw it in regular, I believe, IMAX, and it still gave. The movie was still giving. First time that I went was for my pleasure, of course. Second time was just research purposes. So really, really cool. Really, really happy that I got a chance to do that. My two favorite things is Zendaya. And my favorite sport is tennis. Them being on the big screen together was just mind-blowing. So in this episode, I'll just be talking about what I thought about in certain scenes that came up, just bits and pieces. I'm gonna try my best to explain what I got from it. I wanted to start off with a description first of the movie from visionary filmmaker Luca Guadagnino. Challenger stars Zendaya as Tashi Duncan, a former tennis prodigy turned coach and a force of nature who makes no apologies for her game on and off the court. Married to a champion on a losing streak, Art Donaldson, Mike Face, he is known from the West Side Story. Tashi's strategy for her husband's redemption takes a surprising turn when he must face off against the washed-up Patrick, Josh O'Connor, he's known from The Crown. His former best friend and Tashi's former boyfriend. As their past and presents collide and tensions run high, Tashi must ask herself, what will it cost to win? So what I took from the movie in itself was very great. What I got, this movie based off in the time of 2019, and they showed their past lives to like 2005. For me being an old school head and seeing other movies who like 1978 and seeing that range was like, oh dang, like we are with the times now. So like it's really interesting seeing the time frame of a movie portraying a timeline in the movie. If that makes sense. It doesn't, but that's okay. We keep pushing on. So I'm really happy to see this movie and like also seeing Zendaya giving these interviews on the press tour and like hearing her about how it just took time for her to get there. It wasn't like a forceful thing of like being out of her Disney image into an adult film, and seeing how she just said like things take time and this was like the right timing for her. She felt that it was right. The script was perfect, and her being a producer on this movie was like, really cool. So like seeing this side of her is great. I was mind blown by her performance, but also her vulnerability, but also just showing like I am an adult, and as time goes on, I'm growing up. People have to see her outside of her Disney phase, you know, and I feel like it does show that in real life and in this movie. It was perfect. She also described in the interview about, you know, any athlete, but in this movie, that their body is an instrument. And in the movie, they showed like Art's body, and being a champion, that bruises, like the body takes a toll. Like you definitely gotta keep up with your body, but it also takes a toll being the best, you know? So it was really cool showing that part of the movie. If I had to describe character, what I got from Art, he's a kind, genuine, caring guy. Very funny, but very sweet, you know? Then there's Patrick, who is his friend. I felt like Patrick gave off this cocky, nonchalant, smooth person. And Tashi being, I'm gonna say, it's not tough love, because I don't feel like she gave off tough love in this movie. Like I just give off, like she gave off tough care. And I'll get into the tough care part. But what I also saw in the movie of showing that this is also like adult film. So I had to get back to her producing this movie and her having this lead role in it, and it being an adult film, her showing her body in it. There has been like some parts in the movie where it shows male parts, and it was just really good. So I like that it was just a reminder, like this is a rated R film and an adult film. Character wise, I like that they showed that she is a businesswoman, a mother, a wife, and a coach, and how that is all portrayed in one. And throughout the movie, like she pointed out that everybody said that she always talks about tennis. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that somebody who's really invested in tennis, like it's a game that she loves. I love that they showed that and portrayed that, because in Tashi's mind, it's tennis and then family. But I like that they showed that. So another thing that I like that they mentioned the Spider-Verse in the movie. Her daughter going to her and she's like, "Mommy, can we watch Spider-Verse?" And she's like, "Of course we can." So I really love that they put that out there. Not the fact that, you know, it's that she's dating Tom Holland. It's the fact that this movie, and it's a meme that was out, that every Spider-Man movie, the leading actress had a tennis movie. So I know Challenger and I know Battle of the Sexes. I love Battle of the Sexes, because who doesn't love Steve Carell and Emma Stone? I completely forgot the other name of the movie, but I watched that a while ago. But still, the fact that in this timeline and how everything just is going is wild to me, how they got all that lined up. So I'm really glad that they shined light on that part. What I also liked about the movie and what I took from it is them showing the difference from a startup, like when you're starting off your career and building up to, you know, being sponsored, having people back you and invest in you as an athlete. So showing Tashi Duncan, her at a young age, and her having an Adidas sponsorship campaign on her team and stuff, and seeing how Art and Patrick, them being double partners and singles, that they didn't have that yet. But going to this party and seeing that in that light, they were like, you know, why not? They had some like little reservations on joining it. Art had little reservations on joining it. But then seeing that, just like, you know, we could be doing the same thing. Tashi's doing it. We can also be doing the same thing. Was really, really good. So at the night of the party, it was really nice the way how Zendaya explained that tennis is a relationship, that two people are transcending together in a way and playing good tennis. It's the suspense part of it. And it was really cool the way how that started off, because this whole movie was like full circle throughout the round, like throughout the whole movie. It's like you're going to get a full circle and ends off of one thing, you know? I can't really describe it best. But after that part, after explaining that, she said that they gotta go, and they both, the guys, Art and Patrick, invited her back to their hotel. And it was really great seeing confidence in two men knowing what they want and going for it. So it was really cool seeing like, well, he's asking for your number and I am too. Like, it was just, if I had the confidence of somebody coming at me like that, I'm like, oh, okay. It's hard not to get a big head because wild. And they also explained in the movie that, they usually have different types. So it's just very weird that they're just going after this one girl at the time. So around this time, I believe we're in the hotel and them just having a nice time talking, and then it escalates. And this was all part of the trailer of seeing Tashi. I have to divide different characters. Like, I have to divide the character from the actor. So seeing Tashi get kissed on her neck by two men, and they're saying that this is like the sexiest, most grip grabbing movie that came out. If I had the grip grabbing, don't know where that came from, but seeing that part, what I picked from that part, it was really nice to see how it all got there and how she examined the two and how they got there. So I want to say with them getting there and kissing on her neck and her kissing them separately, but then them together, seeing straight men as portrayed in the movie, or straight guys, and seeing them kiss. When they first kissed each other, they backed off and smiled because they're just like, oh nah, but making it safe for them, no, Zendaya just pulled both of them in, it's okay, we all got this. And the music, the escalation of the music was just amazing in that same moment. But as she put them together, they're kissing, all of them are kissing, and then she just slowly moves back, right? She slowly just looks at them, watching them kiss. And I feel like in that moment, she saw that she had them wrapped around her finger. She saw that these two guys will do anything for me in this moment. She stops it. She's like, okay. I really love the way how that one is. She's like, I'm going home. And this is where the divide happened. This is where the competition happened between the both of them. As she said, they had their singles game the next day. And she said, okay, whoever wins can get my number. And it was just really nice the way how it went. Because the next scene, they show them playing against each other. And they're giving it their all, strenuous, getting gotta make each point. Patrick ended up winning it. Art ended up losing. Patrick ended up getting her number and them hanging out. So Art didn't think that it was it was a game. It was something that she just started between them. Art didn't think that it was going to escalate of them being intimate or together, boyfriend and girlfriend. And they showed him feeling very happy for his friend. And lucky, right? So him saying, but not saying that Patrick slept with her, he showed that he has a little tick that he puts the ball in the middle of his racket before he serves. And he did that just to tell him okay, yeah, I did, without telling him. So it was really nice. In that moment, they showed Art smiling at him, but then in the next, I guess when Pat walked away, they showed him frowning. In this moment, I took that Art felt some type of way, jealous, because it's just it's Patrick. Both Tashi and Art was going to the same college together. They're going to a college before going pro, was what her goal is. But in Art's way, he was just going to college and looking the difference between the two characters. Again, Patrick being nonchalant, he wasn't going for college. He was just wanting to go straight pro or work his way up in building that. So it was just very interesting seeing how why not Tashi choose me in this way? I'm better than him aside from tennis. I mean, in tennis he was, but aside from that in life, he is better than Patrick. So that's where I got that from. It was just very interesting to see. So As the friendship went on, I would say I took from what Art was trying to do, but not trying to go after Tashi at all. It was interesting the way how Patrick like seen it. He's just like, I like seeing you like this, being interested in my girlfriend is what he said. Because not seeing Art like this in a way, not being that, what's the word that I'm looking for? I guess anticipation, or excited about something that gets him like jealous or, I'm not sure the word, but seeing him jealous, he said, this is like a cool thing of seeing you in a way. He didn't think it was going to go that far, I feel like, in that moment. So after that, it leads on to another big scene that I pointed out of Patrick and Tashi getting together. And again, Tashi talks tennis. Her first love is tennis. Everything is about tennis. So with them about to hook up, Patrick and Tashi in this moment, they're in her dorm and they're about to hook up. They haven't seen each other in a minute. And it started off like playful and sexy and them joking around about tennis. But as she's like saying this and kissing him, she's like coaching him on like, you could be better. To me, she saw that this man could be better. He's just not trying. So that's what dimmed down the mood, because she like started talking about Art and how he is better than Patrick. And basically saying that, Patrick, you have no goals. I don't want to be a cheerleader for you. If you want to find that, go to another woman, because you're not going to get it from me. And her saying that was just like I'm a tennis player. That's it. The fight escalated, and then also the shirt throughout the movie, the I told you shirt throughout the movie was spot on perfect. But he ended up leaving the room. He's upset, she's upset. And in a way, before he left, they went and panned to Tashi, and just like, to me, her thought process, like, who needs him? It's just me. It's just, I can't believe we got to do this, but like, it's tennis. I felt like she just wanted to push him somewhere that he just wasn't willing to go in that moment. So we go to her game. Her game ended up bad. This is where the injury happened. So with the injury happened before then, like, you have a big fight. And like, as a tennis player, you just want to focus on stuff. Any other distractions just going to get you wrong, or it could motivate you to play better. In Tashi's moment, I feel that she definitely played well, but she was angry and distracted that he didn't show up. The only person who did show up was Art. Okay. So Art, in this moment, he texted Patrick, and Patrick like said that they had a big fight, that he wasn't coming. In that moment, I can tell that Art was like, this is an opportunity for me. This is an opportunity for me to be there for her, right? And support her in this game. He can tell that in her playing that she was very upset. She was playing hard. She was going hard, and it was perfect. She was getting every shot. When she was going for a slice shot, she ended up sliding and breaking her knees and getting into an injury. Another opportunity for him, her being at her most lowest and most vulnerable, he's going to be there for her. He went to her in that moment and stayed with her, and they ended up going another scene into the doctor's office in the college. Patrick come running into the room, and you can just tell, like, she just said, out, get out, get out. And then Art ended up saying, like, get the fuck out. From, I guess, to me in that moment, Patrick was only expecting that kind of reaction from her and not him. But I've seen there, both of them, Art and Tashi, blamed Patrick for this moment. If we never got into a fight, this would have never happened. Like, this is what I got from. If you showed up as Art, this probably would have never happened. It would have been like a different outcome. Probably. So I want to say the next scene after that, I took away from this commitment that she decided to do to me in my head, that she was trying to play. She was trying to feel out her injury and tell Art not to go like soft on her, like play. I can do this, like I can do this. She plays, ended up falling, and she was like, I'm fine, I'm cool. Then they show her, Tashi, walking alone, and she ended up sitting by a tree. She ended up taking off her a little wrap, and just touching on this. And to me, that moment is her realizing she cannot be a tennis player, and guilt and sadness that her dream is gone. This is what she was meant to do, and now her dream is gone. Everything about Tashi is tennis. Now it's gone. To me, in this moment, I feel that probably 3 things happened. She made a decision to find something else, still something sticking with tennis. Second is a get back. How can I get back? Because I feel in that moment, she did blame Patrick on what happened. This argument, this thing of her not being focused, it was a cause by something. And I feel like that came from Patrick. Third, the get back is into how to do it. Somebody was there for her. Art was there for her. She knew Art was better. She can make him. I feel like all in that moment of her realizing, because they show her like crying, feeling bad, and then wiping it off and being a little bit hard. Like I feel like that is what she made the decision on. I will invest in somebody else who's actually wanting it at the time. Actually found her equal of seeing like this was his fault, so we might as well like link up. Goes by, say the time goes by. He's I want to say that out of college, he has his own coach. They ended up meeting each other. She's coaching somebody else. They ended up meeting each other at, a restaurant, them getting together, talking about old times. In this way, Art takes her advice in coaching and said, why not you be my coach assistant at the time? And he was just like, why not, And he said that he was really proud of her and pointed out that if things did go differently, he doesn't feel like differently with Patrick, and it was him. If it was him who won that first match and got her number, that things could have went differently, that the caring and the love for each other could have like grown, and them being the top tennis players, maybe married at the time. Like I feel like he all saw that like things happen, but you can't change the past, and here we are now. So this is where I felt like the need for each other came up, of her wanting to get back at him, have a career in tennis and not letting it go. Art being the caring type and wanted to be there for her and love her and show her that she can be loved, She wasn't asking for it, but Art wanted to show her that. And let's say Patrick, for me, wanting a friendship and having Art at the time, but making his own way. He needs some type of guidance. He didn't really realize that until later, until they built this life together and this happenstance of a game, one game that led them to seeing each other again after all those years. So I felt like that was the need. So going back, because throughout the movie, they're having this one game shown, but then also showing their past within the game, within the sets that they were playing. So I want to say we're caught up to the now part, and they're in a sauna. The sauna scene was 2 friends, Art and Patrick, getting together and finally talking after years of not talking, and what are you so mad at me about type of deal was what Patrick asked Art. And the realization, because they showed Patrick struggling into finding his own footing in his own way, and that he's choosing this lifestyle of the struggle when he knows that he could have been where Art is if he tried, if he put effort. Again, he was just a nonchalant dude, he's going to do the bare minimum and be okay. That was like the whole thing. them putting that in that scene and them saying the truth to each other is crazy, because I really do like the way how Art explained, like, you know, I'm in the Challenger, I'm just passing by here. I don't live here like you do. Like, I've made a career out of what I'm doing. I'm the best. And you are just you. And pointing that out and hearing the way how he was talking, Art was talking to Patrick, sounded exactly like Tashi. Because anytime like they get into the argument, she would say like, what the fuck else would I be talking about? Like, if not tennis, it's always tennis. What don't you get? And Art said something about like Patrick not being important. You don't matter. And Patrick was like, oh, I don't matter. And Art's response was, not even to the most obsessive tennis player in the world, meaning Tashi. And that's a huge thing. Like, huge thing. In Patrick's mind, it's like, little do you know, though. Like, little do you know. I'll get into that. So, what I said before with Tashi's structure is tennis and then family. So, her putting her daughter to bed and letting her mom go, I feel like they showed just a lifestyle that she's just holding a face for, being the perfect mother and maybe a perfect wife to outsiders. But it was just so, to me, the way how she like sighed about to go into the room and talk to Art was just, can finally be myself type of deal. So in the scene where they're in the hotel room and Art and Tashi are talking, and it's crazy because he was just like, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I just want you to love me no matter what. And she was like, am I Jesus? And he was like, yeah. Like, it's just crazy because like he held her on this pedestal for so long that the controlling of his life wasn't there on his own. Like, it's all through Tashi. He is living her dream through her, like through him. Like, her dream is living through Art. And he's been keeping it up for so long that he used to like it, but now it's like tiring to him. And telling her that he wants to be done. And she said, you know, if you lose tomorrow, I'm going to leave you. And I felt like that was a very easy decision for her, because seeing that Art wants that caring type, he wants that loving type, he's going to be okay with the family. He's going to be okay with taking Lily, their daughter, and him be completely fine. He needed that love. She's okay to let that go. And I like how easy it was for her to say that. And I just thought about what they built, but like, she had no connection. I mean, again, this is the commitment thing that I feel like she was just like, how can I get back? I'm in too deep. You know, there is no letting that go. But when it was time, I felt like she saw it was very easy to do so in a way. She cared for these guys. It wasn't love that she showed to me. It was no love there. She's like, you know, I'm just taking care of you. And like she said in the movie, I'm taking care of my two white boys. It's wild. But not to veer off from the conversation, because I want to say, seeing the acting in a conversation like through kissing, because they ended up like kissing each other and you see that there was something there. But as they slowly kiss, the passion, you just see the passion and the tired just showing, like the conversation through this language, this kissing, touching language was just amazing, portraying that and seeing, I want to keep trying. I want to keep you. I want to do this for you, but I'm tired. And showing how like they just like kiss, stop kissing, tried to kiss again and get that passion, and then it just slowly faded away. And he ended up on her lap and he said, oh my gosh, where am I? Can you hold me until I fall asleep? And her response was sure. And in that moment, she had to make a decision like, oh my gosh, okay, he's really done with this. He's really done. But again, she controls that. She's seen that this man will go over a cliff for her. She made the decision to go to Art. Art, I met Patrick. Let me just say, I think I skipped that. Patrick did ask her to be her coach, and she said, how dare you? Like, you never had goals. You never had this. Now you're asking me to be your coach all of a sudden. And throughout the movie, I want to say they all seen each other for who they were. It's just a hard pill to swallow for some of them. It was a hard pill to swallow for some of them. So that night, she ended up calling Patrick and telling him to come to the hotel to pick her up. They ended up getting into the car and her having a conversation with Patrick. In this, I felt that she saw that Patrick could never be Art. He could never be as good as Art. So that's why I feel like she asked Patrick to lose, so she can keep and hold on to Art. And in that moment, like, she was just like, he just pointed out to her, like, you're pathetic. You're hanging on to something that's just no use of you, and I could be your next best thing, but you're holding on to something that's dead. He's done. He doesn't want to do it. He lost the love for tennis, and you see that, but you keep pushing him to stay. It's not. That's like, it's sad. And he pointed that to her. He was like, I know that I'm a piece of shit. I know that. But like, the fact that you can't even like tell yourself that, it's sad. You're holding on to something that's gone. Hearing that, again, hard pill to swallow, she ends up telling him to like pull over and leave so that she can get out the car. And he was like, well, your family is that way. So it was very interesting how they showed that she's going the opposite direction. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that unless it's not like a tennis. Like, it has to be towards tennis. It has to be. And when she walked back to him, when she walked back to Patrick, it was very interesting to me because she spit on him. She spit on him, and I felt like that spit, and in that moment when they were just looking at each other, because she did have a hurt face, I felt like it clicked for him that she blames him for her incident. She blames him for the accident that she had. She blames him for her not having the career that she should have, her dream, which is being a tennis player. And it was taken away from her. So I felt like that spit was just like that. The kissing part, her having sex with him in the car, was to me a decision of like, you know, I can't change the past. You know how I feel now, but I can't change the past. So I still want you to do what I'm asking, what I'm telling you to do. Lose. And I felt that was a really intense scene between them, because Patrick was still willing to do, again, she saw both of them were willing to do anything for her. And Patrick making that decision is like, whatever we got to do to keep you, whatever I have to do to get where Art is in my career or be better or close, then I'll do it. As long as I get to have you back, or just you now. It was just really cool the way how they seen that. So we're back at the game. This is match point. And match point, like, he see his friend like dedicated and focused, and that he's willing to do anything for her. Patrick's willing to do anything for him. And this realization of like, I need to let this go. Like, my friend deserves better. And he deserves better. So it was really cool the way how the buildup was of making the match point even. Again, I think I expressed before that he did his little tick and put the ball in the middle of the racket and basically telling him that he had sex with Tashi in the now. And he was like, fuck off. It was just really crazy the way how he had to process that, because he looked at her and then just looked down like, it makes sense. She would do this. She would do this. This is still all a game to her, but it's the game of her life. She wants to keep something that she fell in love with, that she is in love with. So she has to look out for her, you know, like Tashi has to look out for her number one, which is tennis. Love tennis, bro. So I said, in Patrick's end, I also wrote a note, like, he just seen that his friend deserves better. He deserves to like go out on his own and not keep pushing for something that he doesn't love anymore for one woman, you know? the most obsessive tennis player. And also just think in that moment, they both realize, let's give her what she wants, what she's been asking for since the beginning of the movie, since they met, a great fucking game. And at this point, they played the perfect match. They were in sync with each other. They were not missing any single point. They just kept hitting the ball and had a great game of tennis. So I like the way how they showed Tashi just on the edge of her seat, and this is what she wanted, and getting excited. And another thing that I missed that I want to say, that to me throughout this movie, she used the manipulation between the both of them to make them good players. And it's weird because I watch tennis on a daily basis. They don't use manipulation like this in toxic ways, but it's just very interesting the way how certain things are said to coach you to make you better. And, you know, you also have to tell yourself that as an athlete, as wanting to be number one, that I am better than anybody who I go up against. I'm better than whoever, no matter who you are. You can be a legend. You can be Dojovic. I have to have that mindset of I'm better than that person. So it's crazy the way how she did use manipulation throughout the entire time of the movie since they met, of competing and dividing a friendship and competing against each other to make them better. And in this moment, what made them so in sync is just going back and remembering what they had before her. Like, they were good with just them. And I want to say in general, because I put in my notes, bro code, bros before hoes. And I feel like they took that in that last moment. Like, we can't let this woman divide us. Like, we were friends before she even came here. But here we are. Let's give her a good fucking game. And they gave her a good game. They gave her the perfect match. And knowing that she said tennis is like a relationship, you transcend together. You guys go to a place of maybe not even existing, and just being in sync and just have a beautiful moment. And they had a beautiful moment. And I want to say they ended up hugging at the last point and just embracing each other. And that was where the come on happened with Zendaya, and her smiling and like had like a little tear. Like, I feel like that was just the end. That is what she needed. She needed to see that from both of them and them become their own, you know? So it was just it was a great movie. I would say my whole thing was just seeing this relationship and the love triangle between them and how toxic it was. And I've seen the movie twice, okay? I've seen the movie twice, but I've been seeing people go to the movie more than twice, probably 4 or 5 times to get all the characters. But I got this watching it the one time, the first time. Again, I just wanted to watch it the second time because of notes, but the first time I got all of that. I got all of it. It's the perfect movie. It's the perfect movie. I hope we're in sync. I hope we're here. I'm a huge tennis fan. So the fact that this movie came out with her, but it's even tennis, I love seeing that. I love seeing everything about the movie. It was great. Man, oh man. Guys, let me tell you. All right. What I wanted, my big question, because people have seen this movie multiple times. Is it the toxic relationship is what people go back to see for the movie? Is that what grabs people? Storyline grabs people? Like, everything about this movie grabbed me. So I just need to know, but is it like the main thing, the toxicity or the intensity of like them all together, the love triangle, the almost threesome? It was really good. I loved every bit of that movie. I would highly recommend that anybody go see it. Even after this, I just hope that you take my notes in, because this was let me just say, getting here to this spot, this is my 11th take, guys. And I feel like I killed it. I knocked it out the water. I did that shit. It's fucking perfect. So I'm going to end it here. I appreciate everybody listening. Please remember to rate, like, comment, and subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You can DM me, comment, share your experience. Have you ever been in the love triangle? How'd you think about my episode? What did you think about the movie? Please tell me. So email me at imjustsharingpod@gmail.com. Thank you guys, and I will see you in the next I'm Just Sharing with Shaunda. Bye. Peace. Yes, I did it. Oh man. Oh, this is great.